You got it.
All right, hey Riley, I'm putting Cole's ISO up. Just let me know the stream. He looks good on my end. Just confirm on the stream Cole's
I'm looking.
He looks solid to me, but just confirm.
It looks real good to me. I mean, real clean.
Well, thanks there, guys.
I'm all
Well, yeah.
You good, Kevin?
Yeah, who are you going with first again? I'm sorry. Let me get into it. Land, cool.
Yep, just give me a single whenever you're ready. Great, thank you for that. Cole, you all set?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, let's have some good energy here. Final show of the week, so let's have some fun. All right, guys, here we go, Cole. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's Friday, and this is another edition of Cubs 360 presented by Miller Lite. As always, I'm Cole Wright, and ahead today, Daniel Descalso. He's going to stop by to let all of us know how he's been staying ready during this shutdown. Now, we know that the NL Central, it's a first base gold mine, but is Anthony Rizzo the best? We're going to pick your brain on that and much more with our panelists. So let's meet him if you don't mind. He's Mr. Consistency around here from 670 The Score. He's a Marquee Sports Network contributor. It's Bruce Levine. And speaking of consistency, it'll be year number 16 on the mic on the Cubs call. It's Len Casper. And back again, he's our lovable lefty, former Cub. It's Sean Marshall. And guys, it's business time. And let's start with a story that has somewhat of an international flair. And it's coming from the man, Bryce Harper. Now, Bryce Harper, as we know, plays for the Philadelphia Phillies, and he thinks it's a, quote, travesty that Major League Baseball players do not participate in the Olympics. He calls it a, quote, dumb policy. Now, baseball, it's set to return as an Olympic sport in 2021 in Tokyo. The Summer Games, they were postponed 1 year due to COVID-19. Now, baseball making a return after that 13-year absence in the Summer Games, where it was last held in 2008 in Beijing. Now, if Major League Baseball participated in the Olympic Games, just like the NBA, letting the dream team in them, well, here are some of the Cubs who could potentially be on the rosters. KB, Kyle Hendricks, Craig Kimbrell, they'd be on the American contingent, and Javi Baez and Victor Caratini, they could play for Team Puerto Rico. Anthony Rizzo, we've seen him on the WBC squad for Italy. He could be there again. Yu Darvish, he could be representing Japan. And rounding things out, Wilson Contreras on Venezuela, Jose Quintana on Colombia, and Rowan Wick playing for Team Canada, which brings us to our Miller Lite refreshing take of the day right out of the gates. And Len, I'll ask you, Major League Baseball, they should let their players play in the Olympics, yes or no?
Well, I'm going to start with no in two ways, but I'm going to get to a qualified yes by the end. There are two parts to this. Number one, you can't, in my opinion, late in the summer during a baseball season, shut down the sport for 2 to 3 weeks and have players go off and play in what is essentially an exhibition tournament. The last thing anybody wants to have happen is Bryce Harper and the Phillies are in a pennant race and he gets hit by a pitch in the Olympics and misses the rest of the season. There's just too much money involved, big picture. More pressingly, I think 2021 is probably the last year you want to interrupt a major league season because we don't even know what the 2020 season will look like. Let's say no baseball is played at the major league level this year. It's more imperative than ever that 2021 becomes as normal a season, hopefully with fans, as possible. Here's where I'm going to get to the yes part of it. How about baseball as a winter sport? Almost like the WBC, you play it in February or March. I think that's much more palatable if you could have the major league players participate earlier as opposed to later in the season.
Len, I agree. I mean, it'd be really nice to see these MLB players compete in July and August to represent their home countries. But, you know, you are pulling the high leverage, the impact players from these major league lineups that the owners wouldn't want to see that. The fans don't want to see these players missing from lineup. And it's that gelling time. These players in midsummer, these players start to gel and they start to work their way towards the postseason race, you know? And to be missing big name players, big pitchers from lineups and starting rotations at that time, I don't see it possible. I mean, Harper is encouraging that it'd be nice to see these players participate. But we do have this thing called the World Baseball Classic, and it's been awesome. I mean, several years of this. It's been great to see this international pool of excellent baseball players come and play in this tournament. And I believe that'll be penciled in for 2021 as well. So we'll see. There's a lot that's going on here. Unfortunately, I'm not for the MLB players going to Japan to play in 2021, but I do really love the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I'm with Sean on this totally. They have the World Baseball Classic every 4 years. That was designed to determine who has the best players in what country. The United States won for the first time last time out, and I think that's where all the players get to participate and stand up for their country. So back to Len's point, it's great there, but in the summertime with pennant races on the line and disrupting the baseball season for an exhibition, as he puts it. Look, the Olympics are a great thing, but to me, baseball is all about the regular season, getting prepared for the postseason. We know already the best baseball in the world is played in the United States, so there's nothing much to prove other than the fact that it's one more exhibition game.
Yeah, and to expand on Bruce's point, while certainly the United States would be pretty, I think, heavily favored, you do have some other countries that have done very well and have won in the WBC. So it would be competitive, but call me a little old school. The miracle on ice doesn't happen if it's not a bunch of 19 and 20-year-old kids, right, who beat the Soviets and Finland to win the gold medal. To me, the dream team was fun because you got all those great NBA players together. But the only question was, are they going to win by 30 or 35 points? So to me, baseball returning to the Olympics is a good thing. I don't necessarily think it has to be major league players to make it interesting.
Well, Sean, like you said, you made mention of the WBC, which is also scheduled for 2021, as is the Olympics. Now, everything we've seen with the WBC, like you said, you love watching it, as do a lot of people that I know, as myself included. Do you think that players would rather play in the WBC or the Olympics if they had their druthers both in the same year?
Well, I think it's a more level playing field, the WBC is. I mean, I think you get the international crop, and we have a load of international players in the Major League Baseball that are top-notch players, and you're pulling these players to compete. I mean, I don't. There's a lot of uncertainty still, and I'm curious to see how this Olympic roster in 2021 will even fold out. I mean, it's going to be composed of mostly AAA and AA prospects, and they may or may not get a chance to even play and prove themselves to be in a position to qualify for this Olympic team in 2021 either. So I'm in favor of the World Baseball Classic. I think it's a phenomenal job of what we've done in setting that up, and it brings the cream of the crop to a competitive play in March.
Logistically, you're going to take 2 weeks off, and then you're going to have the World Series November 14th. I don't think that works either. And from the other perspective of marketing, again, are the players going to give up their salaries for 2 weeks and move on somewhere else, or is it going to be made up at the end? Are we going to have shortened seasons because of it? I'm all for marketing the players, but there's better ways to do that in season while they're playing 162 games rather than the Olympics. And the Olympics wasn't even sanctioning baseball up until recently, so it's not really that big of a sport when it comes to Olympic games in the summer.
So many things have changed over the course of time. The Olympics have changed. They've dropped sports, they've added sports. How about this idea? How about Major League Baseball and the WBC gets together with the Olympics? They have the World Baseball Classic, but they consider it an Olympic event, even though it's not during the technical Olympics, and the winner gets an Olympic gold medal. To me, that could solve all the problems.
Len Casper with some rational thinking. How about that? Because I know that a lot of baseball players out there, they much would rather have a WBC title around their neck as opposed to an Olympic gold medal. But there's still more to come right here on Cubs 360, including, well, it'll be the latest to ever start a Major League Baseball season. So we're going to pick the brain of Daniel Descalso. We'll ask him how he's been staying ready during this shutdown. That and more is coming your way next, right here. You're watching Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite.
Nice work, fellas. Good stuff.
I like it, Len. Why not, right? They're coming anyways. It's a huge worldwide tournament.
Yeah,
It brings the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
I like that idea, especially for next
And then the
year. And if
Olympics
they're
could
just
still profit
reintroducing it
off of
back to
it,
the
and
Olympics,
you know that's what they're all
yep.
about.
yeah,
Just play the WBC every Olympic year and call it an addition to the Olympics or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
but they're going to want to be paid for it if they play.
Of course,
yeah.
of
Hey,
course.
And
Cole, do you
Harper's
have your
Yep.
bump
endorsed.
for B block to
One more time.
read? Your B
Oh yeah,
block
yeah.
bump.
Yep.
So, um, so fellas, we already recorded the Scalzo yesterday. Lynn and Cole did the interview. So all we need to do is just B block bump for the B block. So, Kevin, can you please give me a single for Cole? Okay, Cole, you ready to read it?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
All right. Anthony Rizzo, Paul Goldschmidt, Joey Votto, Ryan Braun, Josh Bell. First base in the NL Central, absolutely loaded. So who's the best of the best? We're going to answer that next, right here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite.
Okay, perfect. So C block, fellas. Cole's going to bring us in with a promo for Off the Mound, which is a interview that Dimp does with Lester and Casey. Off of Casey, we're going to play off the best. Well, I guess we're going to phrase it as the most important to their team, first baseman in the NL Central. So Cole's going to set up the topic, and then off of that, let's go to Sean first here. Okay, we'll go Sean first, Bruce, and then we'll go Lynn. And then, guys, you guys should have some time here to probably have about 5 minutes for this segment. So you guys have some time to have some back and forth. Cole, you may want to think of a re-tee.
Cool.
Malik, do you hear one of my kids talking through my headset?
I do not.
Make sure y'all can't. Make sure y'all can't hear.
I do not either.
Let me yell at him real quick. Hey, keep it down, guys.
Good job, Sean.
Father of the year.
This place.
That'll get him.
He's probably got his headphones on. They're above me.
Yep. Thank you, Kevin. You all set, Cole?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. And Ryan Dempster, well, that guy continues to land the best guests in the game. This week, he's going to interview John Lester and Sean Casey, the mayor, and that's going to debut 7 Central right here on Marquee Sports Network. Sean Casey, we know, a fixture at first base for Cincinnati for 8 years, and he'd be proud of this collection of guys that hold it down at the first base spot because it's as deep as it gets in the NL Central. If you can name a position that's better, well, good luck for that. Anthony Rizzo, more than 25 jacks in each of the last 6 seasons. That's to go along with just 3 Gold Gloves. No big whoop. How about Paul Goldschmidt? Total more than 100 home runs over the last 3 years, joining the Cardinals in 2019. Joe Votto, he led the NL in on-base percentage 7 times. And Ryan Braun, he's going to get a little shakeup this year. He and Justin Smoke are going to share time at first base. Braun with 344 career long balls. Josh Bell, well, he went yard 37 times in 2019, leading all switch hitters. Now, a collection of talent at first base, there's no denying that. And together, those 5 guys have totaled 22 All-Star selections, 7 Gold Gloves, 10 Silver Sluggers, and a pair of MVPs. Back here with our MVPs, Bruce, Len, and Sean. And there's no doubt about it, there's some serious lumber at first base in the division. And Sean, when it comes to the guy that is the most important to their team, who do you think that is?
Well, obviously, we have some depth at first base in the NL Central, man. There's some terrific players up and down our NL Central. But now, a couple guys come to mind. Obviously, our Cubs, Anthony Rizzo, he's just tremendous over there. But one person I really thought has a lot of things that I see qualities are needed to be as an excellent first baseman: leadership, you leading by example. You play good Gold Glove, tremendous defense. You have competitive at bats. And that one person that I faced him several times and also played with him 4 years in Cincinnati is Joey Votto. I mean, you see a
Yep.
person off the field who prepares as well as he does, both on a mental level and a physical level. It leads by example to the young players that come up underneath him. So I've seen Joey Votto up close and personal. I've seen him as a pitcher facing him. It's always a competitive at bat. I have a little bit of advantage, lefty lefty versus him, versus a Rizzo. Rizzo, there's no room to pitch him inside. He can turn on that pitch. He'll give you an excellent quality at bat every time. But we have the cream of the crop in the NL Central for first baseman, and the big guys that come to my mind are Rizzo and Votto as the leaders at first base.
Yeah, for me, it's Rizzo and Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt changed the entire culture over there, not to mention just the offense that he brought to the game, as well as being a Gold Glove caliber first baseman. But going off of last year and what people mean to their team, I always think that Rizzo is the unspoken captain of the Cubs. He's the heart and soul. He's the guy that'll stand in there on top of the plate, take a pitch off of his shoulder, get on any way he can, put a bunt down if they're in an extreme defensive pull to the right. He's my guy. Gold Glover again last year, 3-time Gold Glover, 1-time Platinum Glove winner. Just a tremendous player and a guy that you want up there when the game is on the line and you want on defense at first base when it's the ninth inning and you're holding on to a 1-run lead.
Guys, it's a very smartly worded question because I think there are a lot of right answers here. I think Rizzo is the best overall and most consistent first baseman in this division, and probably behind Freddie Freeman, the second best first baseman, and arguably the best. I think those guys are probably 1 and 1A. I agree with everything Bruce said about Paul Goldschmidt. He actually did not have a Goldschmidt type year with the Cardinals last year, and they still won the division, and I think he'll be even better this year. Joey Votto, if you ranked the top 4, probably would be 4th just because he's 36 and coming off a down year, but he is the premier on-base percentage guy in an era when on-base percentage is everything, and I think he's on a Hall of Fame track. And where I go with most important to his team, if the Reds are going to win the division, I think they need to have Joey Votto of about 4 or 5 years ago, hit 25 to 30 home runs, have his 430, 440 on base percentage. I think he is imperative to their chances this season. One quick note on Josh Bell. He led all first basemen in the division last year with a 936 OPS. The sky's the limit. The Pirates are going to be terrible, but he's by far their best player. And I think the Smoke and Braun platoon actually will play pretty well in Milwaukee.
Len, you're supposed to say no disrespect, but the Pirates are going to be terrible this year. That's how you're supposed to tee those up,
Right.
those statements. Bruce, we heard what Len had to say about Joe Votto. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory. So when you look at Anthony Rizzo, what do you say? Is he destined for a bronze bust in Cooperstown once upon a time?
Well, if he puts together another 4 or 5 years like his career averages have been, I think he's right there. The home run, probably not quite there. The slug, maybe not quite there, but the overall consummate winner and a guy that if he hits 400 home runs and has 1,500 runs driven in, I think he's a Hall of Famer. But that's to be determined later on. I just think that he's the heart and soul of that team. Back a few years ago when the Cubs were trying to get some credibility, he's the guy that walked over to the Cincinnati bench and said, come on, here we're at. We're the Chicago Cubs, and take me on. Let's go. No disrespect here. We're not taking any of it. And to me, he's the ultimate leader and to me, the most important guy on that team.
Yeah, 3 Gold Gloves for Anthony Rizzo and a Platinum Glove plus consistency. We'll see if that earns him a spot in Cooperstown. Now, still ahead, we know there's going to be no baseball on Mother's Day, but the good news is we're going to hear from a few Cubs about playing on the day and what mom means to them. That and more next, right here. You're watching Cubs 360. Don't move.
Good stuff, guys.
Like, I mean, even if I would just have him reread that 40 seconds off the top.
What happened?
Can you reread your just all the way up into your question? There was just an audio hit, not your fault.
No, it's all good.
Yep.
You mean all like the VOs
Yep.
like with Demp, and then all
Yep.
the first baseman and stuff? Okay.
Yep.
You got it. Whenever you guys are ready, just let me know.
Go ahead. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, we're back here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. And Demp, he continues to get all the best guests in baseball. This week, he's going to interview John Lester and the mayor, Sean Casey, and that'll debut at 7 o'clock right here on Marquee Sports Network. Now, Sean Casey, he was a fixture at first for the Reds for 8 years, and he'd be proud of this collection of first basemen in the Central because it's as deep as it gets. You want to find a better position? Good luck. Anthony Rizzo, more than 25 bombs in each of the last 6 seasons. And he also has 3 gold gloves. How about Paul Goldschmidt? Total more than 100 jacks over the last 3 years, and he joined the Cardinals last season. Joe Votto led the NL in on-base percentage 7 times, and Ryan Braun, he's going to see a bit of a shakeup in Milwaukee. He and Justin Smoke, they'll share time at first. Braun has 344 career long balls. Josh Bell, well, he can swing it. 37 home runs in 2019. That led all switch hitters. And the collection of talent at first in the division, it's undeniable. And those 5 guys, they've totaled 22 All-Star selections, 7 gold gloves, 10 silver sluggers, and a pair of NL MVPs.
Great. Thanks, Cole.
Nice
Okay.
job.
Thanks.
All right. So, guys, for this last segment, we'll just go down the line, Bruce, Lynn, and Sean, but you guys can just give some Mother's Day shout-outs. Just do them all in about 15 to 20 seconds each. We would have all just heard from some Cubs players doing some Mother's Day stuff that we got green screened in Arizona and at a Cubs convention. So we'll go, did you hear me, Cole? We'll go Bruce, Lynn, and then Sean.
Yep.
How are you going to get to Bruce?
I'm just asking, how big did mom play a big role, Bruce? Bruce, you got me?
Yeah. I was going to
Gotcha.
go more general, but I can do that.
Well,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
However you want me.
Yeah, I think let's
I was
go
going to
more
go more
general.
general.
Yeah, let's go more general, Cole. So you can just say, hey, Bruce, it's Mother's Day Sunday. Anybody you want to send some special love out to? And then just go down the line. Great. All right,
You
guys.
got it.
All right, so Kevin, you can do it all from the 4 shot.
Copy that. I'm all set.
Ready, Cole?
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Back once again here on Cubs 360, presented by Miller Lite. The fellas back intact. It's Bruce, Len, and Sean, and we just heard a few of the guys on the Cubs talk about Mother's Day and what their mom actually means to them. And it's Mother's Day on Sunday, as we know. So, Bruce, you want to start giving any shout-outs out?
Well, to all the first responders, nurses, doctors, everybody out there on the line for us all the time, especially during these last couple of months. Special Mother's Day wish to you and all the baseball mothers who have had to deal with their husbands and their boyfriends for the last 2 months every single day. This is a special Mother's Day wish for you, and thank you very much.
Yeah, special happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and a shout out to my mom, Sharon, who is watching from Michigan, and my beautiful wife, Pam. Happy Mother's Day, Pam.
Hey, I'm a big country music fan, and Luke Bryan, in one of his hit songs, "Most People Are Good," said, "Most mamas ought to qualify for sainthood." I think that's exactly true for my wife, Sarah. We have 4 kids together. She qualifies for sainthood. Special shout out to my mom back in Virginia, Carol Marshall. I'm not who I am today without you. So happy Mother's Day, and to all the moms, a happiest Mother's Day.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know or anyone else in the world knew, but my mom actually is the best mom in the entire world. Cheryl Wright, I'd like to thank you each and every single day for everything that you did. And there's also another pretty solid mother that lives under my roof, my wife, Reagan. So shout out to my mom and my wife. It's been quite the episode here on Cubs 360. So for Bruce, Len, and Sean, I'm Cole Wright, and for everyone at Marquee Sports Network, happy Mother's Day. Enjoy it, everybody.
Nice. Well done, you guys. Good job with
All
that.
right. Thanks.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
We're good to go. Thank you
Nice
for
going.
today.
Nice.
Take care, guys.
Golf
Done
Everybody
by
touchdown,
enjoy
2 o'clock.
baby.
Wow.
I know.
Have,
Thank you.
have, have a great one,
I got a
guys.
2
Take
o'clock
care.
tea
Yep.
time
Hey, y'all
at
too.
Brookside, right by
Have
the
a
Rose
great
Bowl.
weekend.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Later, gang.
All right. See you, Lynn. All right, gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend. Good time.